What's going on, Warning Army? We are back checking out another song to finish up this Teatro Metro series before this Saturday. We are only like 2 days away now. Oh, I can feel all the excitement running through my body when I just start thinking about how excited I am for this show. I was telling a few people in the comments in the Narcissista video that up to this point, this was my favorite moment that I have personally witnessed of the band, was seeing Pal do Narcissista in front of her hometown, out there in front of the kit, like, you know, just letting loose on stage. Was like my favorite moment that I have seen from the band thus far. But I feel like that's going to very quickly change after Saturday when I actually see them with my own eyes and witness it for myself with all the people who are going to be joining me there in Baltimore. The feedback has been pretty heavy on the Pepsi Center videos, so I think that's probably what we're going to dive into after we get through this series. I got to find some of those onesie-twosies to throw in there every once in a while, too. It was just really important to me to get through this particular series before my show. It was just like a personal goal of mine to make sure that I did this. I appreciate you guys so much for being so welcoming into the Warning Army and allowing a private like myself just to kind of get in here and get to know these ladies like you guys do. Let's check out Materio.
Esto es Martirio.
See, I can't roll my R's like that, yo.
A veces las cosas obvias son las más difíciles de ver. Te asfixiaste con tus propias manos. Cuando todo apunta que por fin alguien te viene a rescatar, te encuentras nuevamente abandonado.
We're gonna go back to the solo. I know. I sometimes I forget to go back a little bit, and I ruin the vibe. So I promise we're gonna go back and we're gonna start the solo, and we'll give the proper ode to it. Overall, this song has like a very pretty sound to it. Obviously my Spanish is not very good, and I don't know what the overall topic is about, but the overall like feeling of just like the music that I'm hearing is just, it's got like kind of like this really like soulful and just kind of like a little bit of like a sadness to it. And like the way that the song started, I really liked the way that it just sounded in general. Like, you know, I think I really appreciate Spanish music, even though I have no idea what they're saying. When I was a teenager, I grew up in a kitchen as being the only white kid in a bunch of Mexicans in a Chick-fil-A in San Antonio. And I lived in San Antonio for a few years, and it was I think 52% Hispanic at the time or something like that, like in San Antonio. So there was my Spanish was at its best back then, but I haven't had enough Spanish friends that talk to me in Spanish like on a consistent basis around me to keep up with it. But when I lived in San Antonio was when I started to really get my overall love for the language, just the overall architecture from Mexican culture, and just like, I'm a huge fan of Sugar Skulls. Like it's totally one of my things. Is I'm a very big fan of the Sugar Skulls. And if you watched my WTF Johnny Foxtrot video, that probably does not surprise you at all. Overall, this song has just made me think a lot about the overall discussion that we had in the Narcissista comments about how this was a hometown show, and that they're sitting there they just got done with Narcissista, and then they were going to hit you with like the rock version of our Spanish songs. So like we're gonna go ahead and give you like a 1 for 2 right before we get to that last closeout song that we're about to give you. So like that's a cool way that they did that. I would imagine that they probably didn't do this a lot. This might have been specifically for that show, because like, you don't want to lose the momentum. And in an English crowd, the Spanish songs aren't always going to hit the same. So obviously, like, you're going to want to capitalize that, especially when you're doing shows in Mexico or any other Spanish-speaking country. That's your opportunity to finally, like, speak your native language that way. All right, let's get back to the solo.
A veces las cosas obvias son las más difíciles de ver. En tu martirio es tu destino. Entrégate. Aprende de los que sufrieron. Si hay que vivir en miedo, es mejor morir en manos de un avión. Tu vida triste, partir tonto y adiós. ¡Ya de México!
That guitar solo was fire as always. Like I love a good solo like that when they play on the lower end of the fretboard like that Sweet Child of Mine kind of like, fret range, if you know what I mean. When I think about like making the guitar cry, that's the range of the fretboard I'm talking about. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here because my Spanish is terrible and I have no idea. And I'm just going to go off of the overall like feeling of what I felt like the song might have been about. My shot in the dark guess is going to be that is this song about kind of like the savior in the story, if you will, or like one of the good guys? Like, is this like about one of the good people? I don't know why, but that's like where my mind is taking me when I heard this song. It sounded like kind of like a hero's triumph kind of song kind of thing. It's just kind of what it made me feel like listening to it. Warning Army, you guys are the best. I will see you tomorrow so we can check out Evolve together right before we go check out this concert. And honestly, guys, someone had made a mention about maybe going through Queen of the Murder Scene, maybe like doing a live stream event. I don't know if that'd be something that you guys would be interested in. I've thought about the idea of doing like a live stream, but honestly, I don't really know too much about it, and I haven't really dug too much into it. But if you're interested in it and think that we should try something like that as a group, I think that would be also really cool. So yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Appreciate you guys for hitting like on the video. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family yet, there is always room for you. Till next time, thanks for watching.